All right, guys, welcome. So today I'm going to show you how to use a digital scale. As you can tell, there are different sizes of digital scales. The larger ones are basically for measuring larger objects. Then we have some medium ones over here, and then we also have some very tiny digital scales here. We're going to concentrate on the small scale today, but as you can see, the buttons that are on them are all very similar. Once you learn how to use one of them, you should be able to use any digital scale at all. So let's focus on the small one. All right, so first, in order to use this correctly, you have to remove the cover of the scale by simply lifting the front of the cover off the scale and setting it aside. So if you notice, there's a little thing here where you can kind of see it. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna pop that open and we're gonna set it to the side, okay? Now, on the scale itself, you notice a couple things, okay? You'll notice 3 buttons on the scale: an on-off button, a mode button, and a tare button, which is also known as a 0 button. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna press the on-off button once. Now, it may, because I'm holding it, it may not go to 0, so I'm gonna just place it down for a second here. Okay, so there you go, it went to 0. You gotta wait a few seconds sometimes. Once it shows 0, then it's ready to measure. If the scale doesn't say 0, that is when we're going to use the tare button. The tare button will recalculate the scale so it's ready to use. We don't want the scale to say anything but 0 when we're ready to use it, because then this additional mass will be added to our result, and we don't want that to happen. The next thing we're going to concentrate on is we're going to look at the mode button here. So the mode button on this particular one, again, probably got to keep it down. I'll get a little closer so you can see it better, okay? The mode button here for this particular model is in the middle. And if you can see, there's a little G up top there. That's telling you the units. So basically what you do is you press the mode, okay? Each time you press it, the display will cycle through different units like ounces, grams, carats. For our science measurements, we're all going to use grams. So you want to make sure the little G is back up top to make sure we're ready to use it. Now, if you're measuring any other object, really doesn't matter what it is. Let's say we're going to measure the top of the actual scale. Then what you do is you just gently place the object you're measuring on the scale and record its mass. Now you notice this actually goes to not only tenths of a gram, but hundredths of a gram. So this particular measurement is 17.52 grams, all right? So as long as you do all these steps correctly, you're gonna be fine. Now notice that the container sits right on top of the scale, so it's not a big deal, but sometimes you might go to measure something and the thing you're measuring might roll off the scale, all right? So in that case, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a container on, something to hold that object. Now the problem is, right now, the mass of the container is 11.54. If we go and put the marble right back in, it's gonna add the mass to it. So this is where the tare button or the 0 button comes in handy. All you do is you hit the tare button once. Now it's subtracted the amount of container. Now when you put the marble in, you're only gonna get the mass of the marble itself, okay? That's really, really important. So make sure that it always says 0 before you put the object on you actually want to get the mass of, okay? When you're done, take the object off, press the on-off button once in order to save the battery, and then just take the cover and put the cover right back on again. And then you're good. All right, the only way we're gonna be able to see if this works is if we try it, so good luck.